In the 45 years since they formed at a school in Glasgow, Delamitri have sold millions of albums and performed across the world.
And now the band's frontman, Justin Currie, has written a new book reflecting on his life as a musician, but also reflecting on how a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease has changed his outlook.
Justin is here on the sofa with us now. Morning. What a little trip down memory lane.
Yes, I just ignored that.
Did you? You can't look.
No.
Justin, we mentioned your diagnosis of Parkinson's just in the lead in there. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know, I've had a really good week. You get good weeks and bad weeks, I think. And I felt quite asymptomatic recently. I had a slight tremor this morning. But, yeah, so when you feel normal, it's like being high. It's like because you feel you don't have any major symptoms. And then you get weeks where you feel very, very, very ill. It's a very odd thing.
And there's nothing you could do to predict that? Can you work out when that might happen?
No, I wish I knew why I've been feeling so good the last week. You know, I've not changed my diet, you know, I've not been doing anything differently. I've been lazing around in bed. I've not been going to the gym. So, yeah, I mean, without trying to be falsely positive about a pretty horrible disease, the one thing that is quite interesting about it is it's really unpredictable. So it throws things at you and you go, God, that's very weird. And then they go away and something else comes along.
That must make it really hard to navigate life and music.
It's hard to navigate. It's hard knowing what kind of nick you're going to be in from gig to gig. And you also fear that at some point you're going to be standing on stage and you'll just have to put your hands up and go, I can't really do this anymore. But it keeps it interesting.
Let's talk about that, putting your hands up and telling people what's going on, because it took some time, didn't it, after your diagnosis to go public on the fact that you had Parkinson's? Yeah,
well, me and my sisters decided we weren't going to tell our mother because she was getting on in years and we just thought she would completely freak out. But it was becoming increasingly difficult to hide it. Partly because of the tremor and also like things, sometimes it's quite hard to put your jacket on and things. I could see my mum looking at me going, there's something not right, something not right about him. But she died, so then I was free to be open about it. And I wanted the audience to know, because they knew something was going on, because, you know, your hand shakes a lot when you're holding the mic to your face and things. And you don't want people to think you've just got a terrible hangover, you know. Or maybe you do. Maybe I've just got a bad hangover. That's all it is.
And you talk about that moment, you know, just putting your hands up and saying, I can't do this. Is that something that crosses your mind when you're on stage?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, a lot of the time when you're on stage, well, sometimes if you're not feeling great, you just have this little voice in your head going, I've really got to stop doing this, you know. But then you finish a gig and you go, yes, another one down. I got away with it. So we've kind of discussed at what point do we have to stop, and the guys in the band are all very on it. So like, I'll say to them after a tour, look, how's it going? Do we need to maybe get a bass player in now? And no, it's fine. You're fine. So I think a lot of what's going on inside your head, you don't really see on the outside.
How difficult is it to control that voice then that's saying to you, I need to stop?
I can sort of argue with it when I'm on stage, and I can, yes, I mean, because it nips away at your confidence. I mean, partly because you're losing a bit of control, so I'm losing control of this hand, so I'll make more mistakes when I'm playing the bass. I find playing the guitar very hard now. So I can argue back with it. I mean, I call this the tremor in my hand Gavin, so I can kind of argue with them and go, you're not...
Go away.
Yeah. But, you know, I've spoken to other people, other musicians with Parkinson's, and they all say that at some point you know you've got to stop. You know, you seize up during a show, or so I'm just hoping that is some way in the future.
But in the meantime, what does music, what does creativity give you as you deal with the Parkinson's? Does it help?
Oh, I mean, doing your job takes your mind off, you know, everything. So just doing my job is doing this. You know, it's good for me because I'm not sitting around going, don't feel great, or what's happening.
Has the doctor given you any suggestion of how long you'll be able to keep performing or singing?
You know, I was recently I was thinking, oh, when I next see my Parkinson's nurse, maybe I should ask her, like, there's a 10-year list. When do I have to give up my driving licence? When should I maybe think about moving house? But they won't know because everybody's completely different. It moves at different paces for different people. So there's no predicting it at all.
One of the things with Parkinson's is obviously there's the physical effects, but there can be an impact on your own mental health. And
Big time. I didn't realise this. And the second time I went to see the neurologist, I said, you know, it's kind of like a mental disease as well, or mental illness as well. And he said, oh, yeah. So there's all that, there's weird kind of emotional and anxiety things going on that are not normal for me. I've never suffered from anxiety or depression. So, yeah, with the dopamine depletion, there's lots of things going on. So there's motion, there's anxiety. So, yeah, it keeps it interesting.
The book, The Tremolo Diaries, is based on real diaries that you kept on tour. Have you always done that?
I started doing that in 2007, started doing solo tours, and I found it a really convenient way to kill downtime. So sitting in a van, driving for 6 hours, the 6 hours would just fly by, just tapping away at my laptop. So I kind of knew how to do that, and so that kind of gave me the confidence that I could write something maybe publishable after doing it for 10, 15 years.
How was that process?
Actually, the whole process of getting the book published was brilliant. I was warned by lots of people, oh, the editing process is a complete nightmare. But I love the editing process. I found it absolutely fascinating. I spent days at a time worrying about where to put commas, which was, I found it absolutely fascinating.
The perfectionist in you.
Well, that is because it's something I'd not done before. I found it very, very interesting. Yeah, enjoyed it. Enjoyed the whole process.
Well, it's great to see you, Justin.
It's lovely
thank
to be
you
here.
so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for getting up so early for us. Thank you.
It's a very musical programme this morning.
Very
isn't it?
musical.
We've been talking about music shops on the high street. We've been talking to Justin.